Quick question, how do you become a king? Usually, you're born into it. Maybe you win a war, maybe you marry into a royal family, or if you're this guy, you sail to Borneo on a holiday, help out with one rebellion, and somebody just hands you a kingdom. This is the almost unbelievable story of Sarawak and the Englishman who became a king. Meet James Brooke, born in India, raised in England, and thanks to a large inheritance from his father, extremely rich and extremely restless. So in true bored rich guy fashion, he spent a chunk of his fortune on a ship that he called the Royalist. Brooke gathered a crew and went looking for adventure in Southeast Asia. In 1839, his sailing brought him to the coast of Borneo, to a region called Sarawak, which at the time was a far-flung territory of the Sultan of Brunei. And Brooke arrived at a very interesting moment. Sarawak was in the middle of a rebellion. Local Malay and Dayak communities were fed up with the Brunei governor and had risen up against him. The governor, a nobleman named Pangeran Indra Mahkota, was struggling to put it down. So the Sultan's representative, Raja Muda Hashim, was sent to fix the mess, and he was desperate. Then into the harbour sails a heavily armed European ship captained by a confident Englishman with time on his hands. Hashim made Brooke an offer. Help us end this rebellion, and we'll make it worth your while. Brooke, never one to turn down an adventure, said yes. With his ship, his guns, and his crew, Brooke helped bring the fighting to an end, and then he waited for his reward. But here's the thing, the reward didn't come. There were delays, excuses, more delays. Sounds familiar? Francis Light would sympathize. So Brooke did something bold. He parked the Royalist, pointed its cannons politely but firmly at the situation, and made it very clear that he wasn't leaving without what he was promised. And so, in 1841, James Brooke was named Rajah of Sarawak, an English adventurer, now the ruler of a kingdom in Borneo. He didn't inherit it, he didn't conquer a country, he sort of negotiated his way into a throne. They called him and the family that follow the White Rajahs. And yes, it's exactly as strange as it sounds. Now, ruling Sarawak was no small thing. Over the years, the Brooke family expanded it from a small territory into a kingdom roughly the size of England itself, making deals, settling conflicts, and slowly taking more land from the Sultan of Brunei. Speaking of which, poor Brunei, it started huge and shrank until it became the tiny country we know today. Sarawak ate most of it. The Brookes ruled for over 100 years, 3 Rajahs across 3 generations. They built a capital at Kuching, banned headhunting, a real and serious practice in Old Borneo, and ran Sarawak as their own private kingdom, separate from the rest of British Malaya. It's generally one of the strangest arrangements in the history of an empire. A European family, not a company, not a crown, just a family, privately ruling a Bornean kingdom for a century. Now, were the White Rajahs the good guys? That depends a lot on who you ask. Some saw the Brookes as protectors who shielded Sarawak from harsher forms of colonial rule and respected local customs. Others pointed out the obvious. They were still outsiders, ruling people who never chose them, expanding their power at others' expense. Both things can be true at once. History usually is. We're not here to crown him a hero or a villain, just to tell you how it actually happened. And what happened next took the kingdom away from the family entirely. During the Second World War, Japan occupied Sarawak. By the time the war ended, the kingdom was battered, and the last White Rajah, Charles Viner Brooke, made a huge decision. In 1946, he handed Sarawak over to the British Crown. After 105 years, the era of the White Rajahs was finally over. And then came the most important chapter of all. In 1963, Sarawak joined Sabah and Malaya to form a brand new nation, Malaysia. The private kingdom of a wandering Englishman had become a proud state of a free country. So that's Sarawak. A restless adventurer, a well-timed rebellion, a crown handed over almost by accident, and 100 years of the strangest royal family in the region. Sometimes history really is stranger than any story we could make up. See you at the next story.